This is The Voice of Land on the Big Play Network with your hosts, Kevin Arnold and Jay Banky. It's been so long. Let me see if I even remember how to do this. But it is a Sunday night. It's 7 p.m. Haven't done it for 3 weeks, so might as well kick off another edition of The Voice of Land right here on the Big Play Network, also partnered with LPV Productions. We are sponsored by Vector Technical. They will get the right person in the right job the first time. We will have more information throughout the show on how you can get connected with them. If you're looking for a job, visit our friends over at Vector Technical. Again, more information on that to come. As always, maybe you're joining for the first time. Maybe you don't even remember for 3 weeks, because I barely remember what has happened over the last 3 weeks. I'm going to talk about life events that have happened for me. I don't even know that I actually remember, even though I was actually there. So we'll see how this goes all night long. But I am Kevin Arnold across the table. It is always positive. Jay,
good to be back.
Good to be back. Don't call it a comeback, I guess. As what was it, LL Cool J, right? That said that. Don't call it a comeback. Well, it's probably not going to be as fluid as lyrics spit by LL Cool J and some of the better lyricists of the early '90s.
Yeah, we don't got it like he does.
Yeah, these days rap is more about the actual beats going on behind the scenes. The lyrics are absolutely trash.
I don't know, dude. I don't
awful.
listen to the new stuff. I'm definitely old guy now.
I've switched over. Somehow I've been switched over to country music. So I still gotta dabble in the hip hop because that's what I grew up with. The classic rock. Like, I can now officially say that I dabble in all kinds of music except for classical. It's not that I don't enjoy classical music. I just don't.
I think there's got to be a time for classical music, and I can't think of a time right now that.
No, I don't have a time for me to ever listen to classical music. I can't think of one.
That voice that you hear, because you can't see him, is audio, or producer extraordinaire, or Peter Tellep behind the proverbial glass. That it was Peter Tellep chiming in there. But right, there is no good time to listen to classical. Some people may say hey, I listen to it to try to go to sleep. I don't really do well with white noise in the background. The only thing is the Alexa we have in the bedroom. When we say hey, Alexa, bedtime, it plays rain sounds or something. The rain sounds have been the only thing that have ever been a sound in the background to help me fall asleep. When it's summertime, you got the AC running like we do now, and the fans running throughout the apartment or throughout the house. It takes me a few nights to get used to that much noise going on. So my body gets used to it and is just exhausted enough to fall asleep. The rain sounds have been the only thing that have actually helped me night one from listening to it fall asleep.
Well, what's interesting is I was watching The Movies That Made Us on Netflix.
Yeah, that's good.
I just watched the one on Jurassic Park.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, I went and saw Jurassic Park in the theater when it came out.
Same.
And so it's when I saw that, I was just, I can still feel the feelings I felt when I saw that, being blown away by how realistic the dinosaurs
it's John
were.
Williams. It's the GOAT.
But the visual effects.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the guys they talked to was a guy that did the computer animations for the dinosaurs. And that he said he listened to classical music. He would blast it while he was working at the computer doing all the animations.
Well, there's theories that listening to classical music will help you think and help your brain work better. Yeah. Well, mentioning classic stuff, we do have a story about somewhere classic from Kevin.
I mean, we do. We have that coming up. I was looking to see if I could get these retweets going on the show. I see that you did.
I transitioned at the exact wrong time.
Yeah, I mean,
we're good for that.
I thought I got us just enough off the rails to start the show because we haven't done this in a while. So I figured ease into it, get us off the rails, because that's when we're at our best, when we're off the rails. But the diversion didn't work. So we do have a lot to get into. A lot has happened since we've been on the airwaves. What was that? May 14th, I think it was. We were live out at the tailgate for Top Dog Tailgate. I know that sometimes we do the well wishes and prayers to kind of start. Again, shout out to Legal Hand to the Face. They do their shout outs to start theirs. That's kind of where the idea came from. And especially over the last 3 weeks with some of the tragic news that has come out around the world. And we send prayers everywhere that it has been affected on behalf of the show. Tragic, senseless acts that have been going on around the country during this time off. We try to send some of those well wishes, some of those prayers where they're needed on this show, whether you're religious or not. That's why we differentiate between well wishes and prayers. We know that not everyone is as religious as others, so we try to respect everyone and include as many different people as we can, because that's just what the show is about. But speaking of Top Dog Tailgate, I know that they had tagged us, our show page at least, on Twitter in a photo. And the Rally Possum guy, I'm not sure of his name. I'm not sure if you've had a chance to meet him, Jake.
Yeah, I've met him before. He's the guy when the possum was in the stands the one time, famously just grabbed it and put it in the box and got it to safety.
Do you know his name, by the way?
I don't know his real name.
Okay. So apologies that we don't know his real name, but I know his wife tweeted out from his account that on Thursday he actually suffered a stroke. And I know he's, it doesn't seem like he's doing, it was a rough event. I mean, he's still with us right now, but she is begging for prayers. So send as many prayers, well wishes, good vibes as you can towards a fellow Browns fan, a fellow Cleveland fan, just a fellow Clevelander in general, or just a human being.
Just a good guy. Like if you ever meet him, he's just real easy to talk to. Super nice guy.
Yeah. So Eric and those guys over at Top Dog Tailgate, they tweeted that out, but we wanted to thank them. Well wishes over to them always. You can always catch their tailgates during the season on West 3rd, but they did for City Dogs of Cleveland, and we'll try to connect with them a little bit more too. That was the last time we did a show. We were live on remote, and I thought it went. I thought it was.
I was going to give my shout out to our guy Audio. Like that came out amazing. Hats. I mean, I'd take my hat off, but my headphones are going to go flying. So,
well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, very well done. Very, very well done. I got a lot of compliments about that show.
Well, hopefully we can do a couple more this summer too, because
Riconia said we can go down live and down to his food truck when he's downtown for one of his shows, so that'll be fun.
Well, I believe July 18th there's it's a Saturday. They're having a thing at downtown Bedford at the Square for the Elmer Flick like celebration or something like that. He played for the Cleveland Spiders and the Cleveland Indians. He, I guess, grew up in Bedford, lived in Bedford.
Yeah, I have no idea who he is.
I mean,
you said his name like, really?
He predates all of us by quite a bit.
Yeah, he played for the Spiders. That's why I don't know who he is.
Right. So, but they're doing like a big thing down there, and we've been invited to do a live show from the Square if we want to. So
I mean, I always like going lives now. That was kind of fun.
Yeah.
I'm in for any sort of live thing at this point. I mean, connecting, because hey, I mean, people that have never seen us before, and
not everyone's on social media.
We got that banner. We got that banner. So
yeah, we definitely got to use that awesome banner.
Speaking of social media, I'm failing at like retweeting this from the Big Play accounts right now. Dave, if you're watching, Big Play Dave, if you're watching right now, if you could just help me out with the Big Play 216 account, that would be great, because this is just doing it from like I'm using Safari, because you can't do it through the app, at least like the TweetDeck version of Twitter. There probably is like a way to do it through the app, and I'm a millennial that has no idea how to use social media. Like it's just
like I said in our post earlier, like we're so terrible at promoting ourselves.
So if there's anyone listening that would like a free internship for the Voice of the Land, let us know, because we can use some help on our social media.
Students at OMS, I know you guys are always looking for internship hours. Like we will get them to you by doing this, because I mean it's not that it's hard. It takes.
It's a lot of time to do social media.
It takes a while, and like what I'm trying to do, it like doesn't show up. And then every time there's a GIF on the stream, it pops up as a video on the phone. So it won't go away. So every single step that comes up, see, like I just tried to click off of it and it just came back up. This is absolutely ridiculous. We're already off the rails, but that's totally fine, because
that's what we do.
Hey, we got a lot to catch up on.
Show, so.
And yeah, we got a long story about me getting married, but we can always push that back, or right now. I mean, did you have anybody else that kind of came up throughout these last few weeks that you wanted to give some well wishes to, Jay?
I mean, I think you covered it pretty well right there, to be honest with you. Hopefully, well wishes to people who are living in the house I'm buying, and they find and get into their houses soon. That's all I'm wishing for.
So they can get out of your way.
Yeah, I'm in a weird situation where I'm moving into a house where people are still living into it, and the house I'm living in is sold. So please, everyone out there, pray that this all goes smoothly for me. I'm very excited to own my own house, to be honest with you.
That's what we're trying to do too. I mean, it's like the market is rough right now too.
I got a break. Like I'm gonna shout out my Aunt Brenda. She sold me a house. I'm not telling you the deal, but she gave me the deal of deals. So yeah, in a tough time right now, I got the complete opposite of what everyone else is dealing with.
That's good.
Yeah.
It's family, man. Like, thank God.
I mean, I would not want to be buying a house right now.
No.
It's just not a great time. They're go as soon as they're listed, they're gone.
Well, my buddy, like I said, he was selling his house. He listed it, and after 3 weeks of being on the market, it sold for $10,000 over than what he was asking.
My parents sold their house a couple of years ago when the market was still hot, and their house was on the market for 4 days, and they got 10,000 over asking, and they could have gotten more, but the reason they took that is because I think it was a cash offer, and it had the time frame. It was like a 2-month time frame, so they had enough time to get
everything situated.
Yeah, my dad was still doing taxes, so he wanted to make sure he got through tax season. So yeah, it was on the market like Thursday, and Monday before 5 o'clock they had signed papers and it was sold.
Well, Audio, you got any shout outs over there?
I do. I actually have some shout outs for my kids because they're done with the school year. They both did extremely well. Very proud of them. Joseph is graduated from, and I'm doing air quotes that no one can see, graduated from elementary school. He's going into middle school, so he'll be in the 6th grade. Mentor is 6th, 7th, 8th in the junior high. And then Jacob finished his freshman year, so he'll be a sophomore, and he's not with us in the studio tonight because he's at a graduation party for one of his friends. They're having a bonfire, so shout out to all the seniors that graduated.
Yep.
That's it seems weird because it was a long time ago, but it is a big accomplishment to get through high school, and you should be proud of yourselves.
Yeah, I actually just drove straight here from kind of like the Richfield area from a grad party. So yeah, shout out to all the seniors who had graduated this year, and now cousin through marriage, Maggie Yoder, graduating, I believe, from Walsh Jesuit High School, and then her brother John will be graduating from St. Ignatius next year. So mom's kind of scrambling around because got the going through the grad party and getting one kid set up for college this year, and then got to go right back kind of through it. But I think that might actually help, like going back to back years, because kind of like in that rhythm, in that mode, in that zone. So but shout out to the class of 2022, whether seniors in high school or in college, or anyone that may have graduated, masters, doctorates. I even saw a former, I can't remember the guy's name, but I saw on Twitter a former Ohio State football player. 35 years later, after attending the university and starting his degree, he went back. He finished his degree, and just recently graduated from Ohio State. So, I mean, it's never too late to kind of reach those higher platforms, and there's so many different ways now to do it. And there's so many different ways we talked about it before we kind of came on air. Like, there's so many different ways to define what success might be. Social media has opened a lot more doors for a lot of people that, content creators.
That's a new job.
That's a new job. And there's people that have found that. And now there's a lot of people in that. So it might be hard to find like what is your niche to do that with. But if you can find that and find a new market in that same kind of job, I mean, that's more power to you. You find a job in trade, you find a job as a teacher, as a doctor, whatever it may be, you find a job in this industry, which still, I mean, kind of, but
well, I mean, we're content creators, which is weird.
We are,
but it's because my day job, right? I work for Futura Media, and so I'm a streaming engineer there. So we do a lot of stuff for broadcast companies. That's where software as a service, and our CEO just actually did a thing. We had a meeting. He was talking about like there are only like a couple thousand radio stations in the country.
Yeah.
There's only so many TV stations.
Yep.
But the number of content creators on social media, I want to say he said 50 million people.
Yeah.
Identify themselves as content creators. So I mean,
it's the biggest thing going right now, and I mean which is like a testament to radio, that actual radio, when you turn your car and you like tune it the way that kind of still the way that you used to, you can set your favorites on there, but still got to tune to other stations if you can't get enough on your favorites. Actual, was it terrestrial radio? Is that the word for it?
Yeah.
Like that kind of radio is still around. Like that is a credit to the market and why it's still important. But a lot of these radio stations are developing their own apps, their own digital platforms as well.
Mhm.
And as it fully transitions there, you're going to see more jobs open. While there's limited radio stations, these radio stations, program directors are going to have the ability to bring in so many more people, and maybe even some of these content creators working on a bigger platform because of these digital
Well,
platforms.
and honestly, I think radio in general, for radio to be successful, it has to be local, because that's the one thing
Yeah.
terrestrial radio can do that podcasts and streaming can't.
Yep.
That, and I think that's some companies have had issues where it's like they've decided to, everything is voice tracked, and you lose that, because I can listen to whatever song I want to on my phone. I have a huge music library anyways, but then with Spotify, really anything I want to listen to music wise, it's right on my phone. I can make my own playlist of everything I want to hear with no commercials.
It's a beautiful thing. Sometimes it's frustrating to navigate, but it makes things easier, and yet all the old things are still needed, which is still cool. If people are really looking for a job, you could say that we could be in line for a GM job here in Cleveland, because we just did a whole first segment with saying a lot and saying nothing at the same time. We went all the way from like music and classical music to talking about content creation and jobs in this country. So, we still went 16 minutes. So let's hit a break. But what have we been doing? What have we been up to? What has happened over the last 3 weeks to VTL? How have things changed maybe for part of the show? We'll talk about that next, right here on the Voice of the Land, here on the Big Play Network.
Whether you're looking to hire new talent or start a new career, Vector Technical has you covered. Vector Technical is a 28-year-old staffing firm that has helped thousands of job seekers advance in their career with reputable partners throughout Northeastern Ohio. Vector Technical is more than just a temp agency. With an above-average hire-in rate of 1 in 4 candidates, Vector works hard to connect the right person with the right opportunity the first time. Vector Technical hires for skilled manufacturing and light industrial work and is sure to have a career that you've been looking for. To learn more, visit our website at www.vectortechnicalinc.com.
Welcome back inside the studio here for Voice of the Land on the Big Play Network. Kevin Arnold, Always Positive Jay, Peter Tillip, or Audio, our AI system that you'll never see, but the voice is still around. So he is what Jarvis was to Iron Man. Audio is to VTL. And speaking of VTL, a lot has happened. I'll start with you guys. Jay, what have you been up to these last 3 weeks? Like, I don't know if the people want to know. I don't really care. It's our show. We do what the heck we want on this show. What has happened over the last?
Like I said, right now I'm just in the process of moving right now, and it's stressful and exciting all at once. Like this weekend, we put in a whole new section of our driveway that was horrid. It was horrible. I'm not gonna lie. I don't want to ever do that kind of work, but yeah. Other than that, just getting ready to move. I heard you did something small with your life. You had a little bit of a change in there.
What
is that? Is that?
Is that a ring? I don't know. It feels.
Kevin coming with the bling today.
It's not really bling though.
I like it.
I can say it because my wife.
Bling ain't got to be a diamond.
The first time I've said this on the show. My wife Jana, she's been flaunting how the fact that her wedding rings are fake, and I put fake in quotes for those just listening to the audio on Google, Spotify, or Apple. Subscribe to us on your favorite podcast platforms. Leave us a review. Let us know what you like, what you don't. But she was flaunting it at the wedding day, and anybody that's kind of come up to us to congratulate, like, oh, let me see the ring, like, oh my gosh, that's so beautiful. When we got engaged, let me see the ring, oh my gosh, that's so beautiful. And she's like the first person to say it's fake, because she found the website moderngents.com, and I think it's like moissanite or something like that. So it's not, it looks like it's diamond or some sort of jewel inside these rings or whatever, but it's not. And I got my ring from there. It's kind of it's 2 black bands on one side, and then like a red colored strip kind of going through the middle. It's almost like a hearkening to the dark side of the Force.
If you get your wife a diamond, great. They love it, whatever. But here's my opinion on it. Our thought on diamonds, gold, and silver is very Neanderthal. Basically, all we're doing is going, ooh, shiny rock. Like, we're acting like cavemen. Like
Yeah.
it's just a shiny rock. It can't do anything more.
Well-
It's really, really hard. That's great, but it's just a symbol for what you're doing.
Yeah.
And
I'll
Anything
disagree.
could
I'll
be that
disagree
simple.
with you on that partially, because gold, silver, platinum. I mean,
great
those are,
conductors.
those are well. They're actually they actually have like a purpose.
But the value is not
diamond?
because of its conduction.
Oh,
Its value is because we make it valuable.
well, it's all well. It is a precious metal. So
Yeah.
there's a rarity to it. Diamonds, they're not rare. Diamonds, horrible investment. There's no resale value in diamonds at all. That's why I laugh when there's a commercial. I won't say the name of it because I'm going to make fun of them. They're always like, "Oh, if you buy a ring from us, you can trade it back in, and we'll up it to like 10% because they know they're just totally ripping you off."
Yeah.
I mean, the markup on diamond rings easily 400 to 500%, if not more, and it's crazy. Yeah, they're pretty. They sparkle.
Yeah.
You know.
And I mean, would that be something I would get in the future as we get more kind of money? We're trying to set up our future so we can get a house, just like Jay, you guys are kind of moving into a house and stuff. And we would like to move into a house. We want to start a family. So we want to make sure that we have enough money. So like, is that a plan down the road? Yeah. But like you said, in this kind of terms, getting engaged, getting married, or like a gift from significant other to significant other, it's a symbol, but it doesn't mean anything if you don't follow through with what the symbol is for.
Right.
So like the actions, as they say, actions speak louder than words. Like the unity of two people in a relationship, in marriage, whatever, you actually got to give to it to make that symbol worth what it was intended for from the
the
original
diamond ain't worth.
purchase.
It's only worth the love it's backed by.
Well,
What about
here-
that
here-
one?
Here's the thing.
Hey,
My-
I'm gonna quote just all you jewelers out there. Don't steal my quote right there.
what I was this is going to be my advice for you when you said about a diamond is, if you're at the point in your life where you can take 10 grand in cash
Just
and,
drop it.
and light it on fire,
Yeah.
and not care,
Yeah, go ahead.
upgrade her to a diamond, because
Yeah.
if she doesn't care, then there's no point to it.
She picked out her engagement ring. She picked out her wedding band. And I know like that, that's like not the traditional thing. Guess what? Like all those traditions are pretty much out the window. We did almost everything like backwards. I'm not going to, we say it, her and I say it like a certain way, but we don't use that language on here. So like, I'm not going to do that. We've done,
Bass backwards.
yeah, bass backwards. Yeah, there we go. Bass backwards. That's how we've done things. But yes, Jana and myself, we did get married 2 weeks and a day ago, a little over 2 weeks and a day ago. It was the first ever wedding at League Park. Thank you to everyone that lent us jerseys, Indians jerseys, and
All right, I was impressed by how many jerseys you collected. I was looking around, I'm like, man,
right.
I thought you might get a couple jerseys per table. You almost had every seat in that place covered.
Almost and we did have some that we left out because some people like gave us their really nice ones and they were like legit and they had World Series patches on them and some were signed. So we got just enough to do every other chair, and there were 8 chairs at every table, and yeah, not every seat was filled. I will say I do feel bad for our buddy Jared from Illegal Hand to the Face, Fatty, and his wife Hope, because like there were 8 people who were supposed to be at their table, like 6 other people, including.
Oh, he didn't care.
No,
He
like, it
was
just those
so
two.
happy
No one
about
showed
the
up.
food you picked for it. He's like, he goes, "Are those hot dogs?" He's telling me the story, talking to his wife. He's, "Oh my god, they got hot dogs. Are those hamburgers? And they got Cracker Jacks?" And then he goes, and then they come around and, "Do you want some popcorn?" Of course they want popcorn. He was so stoked about that food, as everybody was there. Like most of the time you get the traditional stuff. No, that was a good choice. I liked it, Kevin.
John likes your hat.
Oh,
Jay.
thank you,
Yeah.
John.
Yeah,
John's
so
from
it's-
work.
Yeah. So he said, "Nice hat, Jay." So we did get a comment. Leave comments if you're watching on Twitter or even Facebook. If you're on YouTube, we'll try to check out those as well. We're trying to get better
We're
ways
both
for people.
sporting our new hats here, huh?
Yeah, I mean, hey, I'm a millennial. I still am a millennial. So the honeymoon, we're getting there. That it was done in Disney. So
All right.
we're a big kid. But first ever wedding at League Park. The people at League Park and the National Baseball Heritage Museum were loving it. A couple of them were like filming even more than our videographers were. I would love to see their videos from their phones because the full ceremony. I'm not gonna. No comments, no names, please.
We might be able to get that for you.
Oh, really?
Jim from LPV knows a lot of the people over at the Baseball
There
Heritage.
you
Yeah.
go.
So if anybody
So,
took like
yeah.
videos as we were kind of coming in, like took videos of people's faces as they entered the field, like we would love a video like
Yeah,
that. 'Cause
I'll reach out to him and see
Okay.
if he can get that for
Okay.
you.
I mean, we would even we'll even partner with them. I don't even need payment for it because look, I mean, when you go to the National Baseball Heritage Museum at League Park, it's free entry. They just ask for donations, but you don't have to, like, and you get to see all this like original.
Oh, it's a really cool place. If you're into baseball, you got to go there, dude. It is awesome place.
And all of our attendees got to go, the day started, we went downtown to the pier to take pictures. We also took pictures under the chandelier. We drive to the field, kind of getting set up.
Your niece stole the show on the party bus.
Yeah.
She was a little dancing queen on there,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. Josie, she was definitely the life of the party on there
For
because
sure.
I mean, when people hear that we're riding on a party bus, they're thinking, like, okay, there's adults on there. It's a wedding. I'm sure like there's beverages being taken in.
No,
We aren't that way. Like we just aren't that way.
it wasn't the wild and out
No.
typical party
It was
bus
just
thing.
the easiest way to get a big
Except for
group
your
of people.
niece.
Yeah.
Was the wild and out one.
Yeah. And she was up since 5 a.m. Like she didn't crash till she left, really. I mean, she started to on the bus. She may have taken like a 5-minute nap. Then she was ready to go at the reception too.
Nice.
So, and then, we had, a lot of people show up to the wedding. A lot of people show up to the reception. As we're walking out, just before we're walking out, we're starting to see that the rain is about to hit. And yes, I know it's good luck for rain on your wedding day, but we had been planning for this outdoor wedding. We didn't have any cover. The DJ said that like he was willing to chance it too. He only took garbage bags to cover his speakers if any of the rain hit. He didn't want the tent that was brought for him. So we were just going full at it, and we're telling Jana, we got to go. It's going to rain. Let's start a little bit early. She's like, it's not going to rain. It's not going to rain. So, our officiant, and myself and my two parents, we start walking out. We feel a little bit of drizzles. I'm thinking like rain's starting to fall. Is it going to get heavy? Like, is it going to hit? It stayed that way throughout the entire ceremony.
It was like a speckle here and a speckle there with water.
We may have cut a little bit from the ceremony, but it's okay. It was just kind of some special things that the officiant wanted to give to us. So that'll be conversations that we have with her, in particular, moving forward. A nice, really great family friend, Lori Bodkin, who was gracious enough to officiate for us, and we thank her for that. I barely remember the ceremony, but I know that I cried a lot. And it was just beautiful to see Janet kind of walking towards me in a dress that she was very excited about and looked very beautiful in. And then, my mom was being sentimental. She was making me cry throughout the day. And as soon as they announced us as husband and wife, and we start walking back up that first baseline where so many other of the greats, even Babe Ruth, once walked up and ran on that first baseline, as we're walking back to the visitor center at League Park, the rain starts to fall heavy. So we just got it in time. Sorry to our bridal party. Like Jay was in our bridal party.
Yeah, me and Nick Paulus were at the back end of the last two people to walk up.
And
It
everybody just
started pouring,
sprinting.
and then it started really pouring. I'm like, all right, I gotta go. I looked through. Yeah, I can't think of her name right now. Off the top of my head. Chelsea, the girl I was matched up with. I'm like, see ya, we gotta go. We just booked it to that little room you guys had,
and we didn't care. Like, we were trying to like keep everything as much as we wanted it to be during the ceremony. But once the ceremony was over, we're official. We got rings on our fingers. We've said our I wills and whatever. We didn't really actually say I do, but it still counts. We signed it's official. She changed her name too, so it's all official now.
Oh, I thought it was hilarious when we got to that room, watching everyone from the stands run from the water.
Right.
I was like, they're all like, just running, like the pure chaos was. It just made it funny to me, I thought.
Yeah, but it was only right to have everybody kind of come in there, so that kind of weighing out the rain. It was only about like a 20-minute shower or so, because the DJ actually got on the road first to go to the Wycliffe INA Hall where we're having the reception, and back in my hometown of Wycliffe, Ohio. And he called me and said that, he watched someone hydroplane and like spin off the road. And I was hoping it wasn't anybody involved with the wedding. I don't think it was, but still prayers out to them. And I hope everything is okay. The car was we saw the car, but no one was around it. There weren't any police around there when we drove through. But we tried to make sure everyone was safe and that enough of the water kind of dissipated off the road, so it was easier to get there. So then we do, we get to the INA hall, we do our entrances. We had an epic entrance.
That was one of the better entrances for a party as I've seen.
Everybody.
You had this, what is that, the LeBron Stunner or whatever?
I did the LeBron Silencer. I know it was a baseball themed wedding. The only thing that wasn't baseball themed, like
you had it down to a T.
You can attest to this, Jay. We had this baseball themed wedding, and that's a credit to Jana and her mom, my mother-in-law Janet, and her family. Putting all, Jana with the ideas, or family putting it all together, especially your mom with all of the different crafts and what she did with the Cricut to put the signs together, the stitching that went across the table to make the tables look like baseballs, and the stuff on the Cracker Jacks to say thank you, everything that she put together craft wise, and all the work and all the money put into it. Thank yous are not enough. Thank yous are not enough. That's another situation where actions are going to speak louder than words for the rest of our lives, honestly, on that. But we had it down to a T. The only non-baseball thing, I had to sneak either soccer or basketball in somehow. We came out to Space Jam. We kind of came out hand in hand, let Jana twirl so everybody could see the dress. If anybody that wasn't at the wedding, because that was a big thing when you dance together. She kept telling me, you got to spin me. You got to spin me. Everybody's got to see the full dress. Everybody's got to see the full dress. I was like, let me take some Dramamine because I'm probably going to get dizzy. But I made sure we got the initial spin in there. And then I hit the LeBron Silencer.
She did the photoshopping, the photographing, like when they were
like the first edition of the Cavs, when those guys would come out and they were all doing like the poses and the pictures and everything. One of my friends, Pat, and her best friend, Sarah, they came out to Star Wars and they both had lightsabers, one of which was mine that I'm very proud of in that wedding. But I would gladly lend that anytime. What did you guys?
I did the Carlton dance.
Okay, yeah, that's right. We couldn't see because
came out to Tom Jones, man.
That was the only problem. Like just like the entryway to the reception hall and just like how far back we were in line. Like,
that's why I can't wait to watch this video. I am so excited to watch you guys' wedding video for this.
I'm hoping every entrance is in the highlight video because we're really only getting the edit is going to be a highlight video, and we're hoping that we can, for my brother-in-law, Travis, who's married to my sister, Amy, he did a drone footage just before the wedding. So like up above League Park and everything, we're hoping to get that to be the beginning part of the video that they put together for us, the video highlights, I guess, of it. But yeah, I mean, everything was down to a T baseball wise, did the dances. My mom and I danced to Rainbow Connection with Kermit the Frog singing.
Yes. I'm like listening. I'm like, that is Kermit.
Yeah. And people can make fun of us all they want. Like that's my mom and me. Like that's anytime I go to Disney, I gotta at least go into the section, which has been made much smaller because of Galaxy's Edge. But we actually got we actually were able to get gluten and dairy-free pizza at Rizzo the Rat's Pizzeria in Hollywood Studios at Disney. So that was pretty cool. So we danced the Rainbow Connection. I'm joking around my mom. I'm being sarcastic a-hole like I always am with her. And she's giving it right back. And then she goes to where did the time go? You were just a baby. I'm so proud of you and everything you've done. And I love you both so much. I was like,
Waterworks.
I'm like, done again. I think the best part of the night, one of the best parts of the night for me was, we had the speeches and great speeches by her matron of honor, Heidi Klauston, and my best friend from high school and from grade school, Carlos Chinchilla, great speeches. And then I just did like a quick thank you to everyone. And I said, don't worry. I know everybody that has seen me put a microphone in front of my face. Don't worry. This will be the shortest time ever.
You got a big laugh out of that one.
Got a big pop out of that. So
shout out to Carlos for doing that off the top of his head because he definitely lost his speech.
Yeah, he left it at home. We asked him if we'll ever get a chance to see that. He's now like teasing us, like, we'll see.
Go in a time capsule.
I have a feeling, I don't know, he may have just done the speech that way, like just that way. I don't know that maybe there wasn't actually something written. I don't know. There's just no telling with that guy.
That'd be a hell of a 5th year anniversary gift or like 10-year anniversary gift.
Yeah. If you're watching, buddy,
you better be watching if you're his buddy.
I know he had like another event tonight, and he works at a horse farm down in like that same area, almost like the backyard of where the graduation party was. He works there and like helps them train like the trick riders that are there and do like the horse riding lessons and stuff. So I know he's in construction, but he also like works there and like lives there. So he's a busy guy just like we are. So there's so many different stories from the wedding day, like just like how much sports and baseball went into it. If we have more time, we'll go into it some other time. Yeah, and we did the typical Disney thing. Like we went to Disney. I'm wearing the 50th anniversary hat, not to show off, just because it's like the first hat in a long time that's fit my head properly. So it can get back to wearing hats again. But Galaxy, if you're a Star Wars fan, you got to get to Galaxy's Edge and you got to ride at least Rise of the Resistance. If not, was it Smuggler's Run? I think is on the Millennium Falcon, and seeing the Millennium Falcon in person, like a huge model of it, because if you remember the first 3 episodes, 4, 5, and 6, those were like small, very small sets that they filmed very, very close. So to see like an actual life-size Millennium Falcon was great. I don't do so well on the straight screen 3D rides though, so we didn't ride that one, so I didn't get to see inside. But 85 minutes to wait for Rise of the Resistance, absolutely worth it. It is an experience in almost every single ride line that you go on Disney and Universal, which makes it a lot better than Cedar Point when you just got to sit there under these hot tents and wait 2 hours just to ride a 30-second ride. I'm telling you, Star Wars fans, Rise of the Resistance is worth the wait. It is worth every moment that you are there, and you're going to immediately want to get back in line and wait as long as you need to ride it again, to go through that entire experience. It is that good. We did not get a chance to ride Guardians of the Galaxy Open the Friday we were there, and they were doing a virtual queue. There was just no way to get back to Epcot to ride that. So that'll be numero uno on the list the next time.
Have you ever been to Disney World?
No.
See, I've been there one time, and I was telling Kevin this. I got to go back because I have to conquer this. We went. My grandparents took me. I was 13. We got the 4-day pass. We go to Epcot. When you're 13, Epcot's not the place you want to be. As an adult, it's probably really a lot better. Tropical storm hits. Never got to go see the rest of the park.
Oh, geez. No, when I was
I'm still mad about that.
Yeah,
one.
when I was probably 10, maybe 10 or 11, we went down and we did Epcot. And it was okay, but we didn't do Disney. I've been to Disneyland, but I was like 3. I remember the teacup ride. That's like the only thing I remember. Yeah. And then I did go to Disney World for to see Pearl Jam, because my wife, when we were dating, she actually won tickets.
Nice.
From Q104 and won a trip to go see Pearl Jam at downtown Disney. So
that's awesome.
We were in Florida for less than 24 hours.
Nice.
We flew in, went to the concert Sunday morning.
It's a hell of a power trip right there.
Yeah, so it was
boom,
fun.
Boom.
I mean, it's actually weird to hear that, I know some people try to say that Disneyland's better than Disney World, but there's only 2 parks there versus 4 parks, 4 different experiences in Orlando.
Disney World's better.
Oh, Disney World.
Disneyland's the original, but yeah, Disney World's better.
Now, I did find out that the reason why Disney World is not getting a Marvel universe just like Disneyland did, both kind of have their Star Wars worlds, but Orlando cannot do the Marvel thing like Disneyland did because of the Marvel rights that Universal still holds. And with that park being so close, we were told that they're not able to do that, because we saw like a big section of Epcot was blocked off and there was like a new world being constructed right there in the middle, right behind the golf ball, as some people kind of call it, or like the big giant ball that Epcot's known for. It's going to be like a Moana experience, like a water type thing. So, I mean, it's still going to be cool because Disney does everything.
Yeah.
Everything well. I know what you're talking about with Epcot. The first time I went, it did feel like more like for adults. It wasn't fun. They've definitely increased the amount of rides there and the amount of, kind of engagement that kids can have, but also adults with like the drink around the world and everything. I do have a story for you guys, but it can only be off air and cannot be shared if you guys are fans of a certain show on Netflix.
All right.
So, but I cannot say that here.
We should
We have-
probably take a break.
we should take a break. So I don't know if in these 3 weeks if you've made it on the t-shirts or not, but there's still a shop that the Voice of the Land has, and you can find out right now in our second break of the night. This is the Voice of the Land on the Big Play Network.
Are you struggling to hire the right talent or maybe even find the right career? Vector Technical makes it easy. Since 1992, Vector has provided Ohio employers with a reliable process for hiring and have helped thousands of job seekers advance in their careers. Vector Technical is more than just a temp agency. We invest time to get to know each client and candidate personally. Vector places people in job opportunities that they are truly excited about. Interested in learning more? Visit our website at www.vectortechnicalinc.com to see a full list of our current job opportunities and to find out what Vector Technical can offer you.
Get your gear at voiceoftheland.com/shop.
Fun. Boy, the stories that if you guys could actually see inside the studio in between breaks and before after the show. But sorry, that has to stay
G14 classified information.
G14 classified information. However, what doesn't have to stay classified is that while you didn't see Jay on the t-shirts in the commercial, he has not made it in the commercial yet. APJ is on t-shirts.
It's official.
It's official on the website. So go to voiceofland.com and click on the link for the shop, and you can get t-shirts with Jay's cartoon face right there, a part of the show.
The cartoon face is much better than the real face. Let's just.
I mean, mine is too, so don't worry about it. So, but make sure you guys check that out and get your t-shirts. We still got to get another break in, but we got some news and notes to kind of catch up on. And you teased, and I think this is like the perfect time. You have more of a Guardians take than I do. As big of a baseball fan that I am and a Guardians fan that I am, you have a take that you teased out there and you said it would only be on the show. We've waited 42 minutes. Let's not make the people wait anymore. Jay, go ahead.
All right. If you're a Guardians fan, I got hope for you. I had no, and you know me, I've been down on them. I think they still need to make a move, and this is exactly why. One, you're only 4.5 games out of the division, but the Guardians are third in runs scored against, fifth in runs scored, and fifth in runs differential. I had no idea about that. They're plus 25. Like, this team has got it. They're much better than I had any idea about. If Franmil Reyes was doing what he was supposed to be doing, we'd be leading our division, I believe, right now.
I think the one that's, I mean, if Franmil was doing what he was supposed to be doing, then I have no doubt about that, because you said 4.5 back and we're below 500. The only team above is the team that's in first, and that's what I think it's Minnesota. Is that right?
Yeah, it's Minnesota. And
Even the
White Sox have been absolute garbage.
They're even
Kansas
3 games
City
under 500.
is garbage, and Detroit is garbage. Like,
Yeah.
there's 3 easy teams in your division you can beat up on, but we have to make a move. Mr. Dolan, I understand we don't make as much money as all those other teams, but I implore you, please go get me a bat. We got Jose Ramirez is on a historical run right now, and he's doing this with no one protecting him. Imagine if you had someone behind him right now batting. Like, Owen Miller, you're doing great. I appreciate it, but you are not a cleanup hitter. You'd be better off suited for the 5th spot, and we just need a true cleanup hitter.
Right.
And let's say we make this trade, and Franmil comes back from injury, and he turns his season, because we know what he's capable of. Like, this team could take off. It has the ability to take off out of nowhere, just like the Cavs did last season.
Well, and what's funny is with you kind of giving some of those stats, you know, they're a small ball type team, and that's more National League baseball, but that's what Terry Francona's always been about. And he's got the youngsters to buy into it. I was watching Sports Center on Saturday, and they were talking about how there was like 57 or 59 home runs hit in major leagues Friday night. And it was like the 4th most in history, or tied for the 4th most home runs in a single day of baseball during the regular season of Major League Baseball history. The Guardians were not part of that, even though they won that night. And they weren't part of that because they were just hitting doubles and singles and keeping I forget what the score was on Friday night, but Owen Miller and Josh Naylor accounted for almost like 75-80% of the runs that night. It was like 6 or 8 runs that they scored, and Miller and Naylor accounted for them. And when I was getting the notifications from Major League Baseball on their app, because I still can't watch the Guardians or the Cavaliers on my television, please somebody fix that. I love listening to Tom Hamilton and Jim Rosenhaus, but I can't always turn it on even on my phone. I know I can access their games on the phone. Unlike NFL games, the radio broadcast of Cavaliers and Guardians games can be live streamed from your phone,
which is nice.
It's nice, but I can't always do that because I'm not in a situation where I can have something playing.
Well, Kevin, that's why I have no live TV no more. I got rid of all live TV. I was like, I can't watch the Indians. I can't watch the Cavs. And I can give 2 craps what SportsCenter says anymore.
That's what I was telling you guys before the show. I sat down the other day. I think it was Memorial Day weekend. I sat down on Sunday.
I did the same thing.
I flipped the TV on. I have YouTube TV, and it said Guardians, and I was like, oh, I clicked it, and the game was on. And Jacob came in. He's like, how did you get it to work? And I'm like, I don't know.
It was just a YouTube game.
And then it went to like commercial break or something. It came back, and then it just says like, this game's not available in your area.
Oh, really?
And it just blacked it out.
So maybe that was a different game than because I watched one on
actual. Yeah, but it was the actual game. I was like,
I watched one on Wednesday, and I forget who they were playing again, but I watched one on Wednesday because it was a straight YouTube and YouTube TV sponsored game in their broadcast with Yonder Alonso as the color analyst, former Indian, if people didn't know, but they had like the full game. And when they went to a commercial break, it wasn't even a commercial break. It was just what you get when you go to these crack streams, and it's like a camera inside
the satellite feed or whatever.
Yeah, like the camera inside.
I might
the
actually
stadium.
like that better. I like it better when it was the Cavs stuff, and I'd watch and see the promotions on the game. I'm like, oh, cool! I get to watch the KeyBank pick your suitcase game and stuff.
But they only do one a week. So
I know. I mean,
and now they're going to have like 2 straight Wednesdays with games involving the Toronto Blue Jays, who are a young power hitting type team. They're going to be basically in the AL East. We get one game and then we got to find the crack stream. Hopefully it works. Hopefully I'm not in a situation where I can actually have noise on in the background and stream.
Well, there you go. Dolans, we need 2 things. We need a hitter and we need you on our streaming services. Please, dude. You're a billionaire. I know you can do some moves to make something happen here. You're losing tons of viewership. Young kids do streaming more than I think cable, and you're losing those viewers. And you wonder why we sit there and complain about you not marketing your people. You're not even showing your game to people. Like, come on.
And if you don't get them young, you're not going to get them.
No,
right?
They'll find something else.
And we're at the point now where is Shane Bieber going to stay here because we got to re-sign him.
We had Jose
game
the other day, man.
Yeah, and the pitching staff.
It's coming around.
It's coming around. That's why these numbers are where they are. They're playing small ball and they're doing these things. And the difference, while the Guardians and the Orioles are actually in a similar position where you're calling up a lot of young players, the Guardians, the credit to their front office and the organization is that they have an established culture that is winning. They have a manager that brings an established winning culture. So it's easier for younger players to just do what they do best and kind of help to that. And maybe with the inexperience, you're more around 500 than being way below 500, averaging what Hamilton said on the broadcast for the Orioles for the last 3 years, averaging 111 losses a year with the Baltimore Orioles. It's not because they don't have talent and don't have talent in their farm system. It is because they're inexperienced and don't have a culture to know what it's like to stay
the
in
Browns
contention.
Were like that for years and years and years
and years and years. The Guardians at least know they're hovering around 500. If you make a little run, you're going to still be in good position to make the playoffs. And if you can play your best baseball at the end, you never know. With good pitching, you never know what can happen. I'm not making any drastic claims about what's going to happen at the end of this season or anything like that. All I'm saying is, while they're inexperienced, they're inexperienced, but have been brought up to understand what this organization is about and what type of player you better be, or you're not going to be here for baseball here in Cleveland. When you get that call up, you don't have to do everything yourself. You just need to do what you do well. I think even if Franman was playing well, though, they would still need another bat to lengthen this
I
lineup
agree.
to put guys in the right position.
If you're
like
going to
an
win
Owen
it
Miller.
all, you need 2 more bats. And I mean, you
Yes.
need Franman will step up and a veteran guy to come
Yes.
in. But right now, I really need him to get into a playoff. I need these young guys to continue that winning, continue that playoff run, get that experience in there. And like I said, when we make a trade, please don't do youngster for youngster trade. We need an established veteran field
Yeah.
hitter.
Because we're still in limbo of like what the front office and what this organization is talking about behind the scenes of what they're trying to do. Are they trying to retool to make a run at it over the next couple of years because all these young guys are going to get their major league experience this year? Are they in a rebuilding mode where we're going to see like a full sale type thing that we don't want to see? Are they in contending mode and they feel like these young players can really contend? The only way that they can contend is the advantage of being such a young team. Don't know what you don't know, and you're just going out there and playing baseball, and you still have that feeling of I'm just playing a kid's game and I'm getting paid to do it until, I made a name for myself. I can get a lot more money. Oh, let me go to the teams that can actually pay for that. And then guess what? Then, the Guardians are back in the same position that we're kind of in now, or even worse, like the Orioles are in right now and can't dig out of because they're in the worst division to try to ever dig out of when you're in that type of situation. The Guardians would be the same way if they played in the AL East because you wouldn't be able to contend getting free agents with the Yankees, the Red Sox, and even the Blue Jays at this point. That's just a juggernaut that is going to take a while for the Orioles to climb back, even as much talent as they get in their farm system. We do have one final break, though. We may touch on the NBA finals. I know they're going on. I haven't really I've kept up with what's going on, but I haven't watched enough basketball for my liking. And I can't really watch it right now. I'll tell you that on the other side of the break. And Browns news and notes. It's been 51 minutes. What's another couple minutes before we touch on that? Because there's been stuff that happened, but stuff that doesn't really hit the register as much as people try to make it out to be just because it's Browns news. It's a football town. We'll still touch on it because it's our job right here on the Voice of the Land on the Big Play Network.
Are you looking for a career in manufacturing? Vector Technical has you covered. Vector Technical is a 28-year-old staffing firm that has partnered with some of the biggest and the best companies throughout Northeastern Ohio. The recruiters at Vector Technical will coach you through the entire job process and will help you land an opportunity that you are truly excited about. Vector does not add any additional fees and offers benefits as well as free online skills training through Penn Foster. To learn more, visit www.vectortechnicalinc.com and make sure to check out our job board to see a full list of our current opportunities and apply.
Talked about a lot tonight. Maybe we've talked about nothing. Who really knows? We're just getting back in the swing of things. We haven't been on for 3 weeks. Like I said, I got married. Jay was in the wedding.
It's the
been on
dog days
honeymoon.
of summer right now when it comes to sports.
Yeah, unfortunately, I know Peter, you guys dealt with another bout of COVID at the house, and that's still kind of a thing. Hopefully, everybody's doing better around the house.
Yeah, everyone's doing fine. Everyone's vaccinated, so it was real mild symptoms. So, but yeah, we got to experience the rain on your wedding day because that was Debbie's birthday, and we went out to dinner and
Where'd you guys go?
We went to Don Tequila's because we hadn't been to Don Tequila's since since COVID, really.
Yeah.
And we're like, man, we really want to go. And she got herself a nice jumbo margarita. And
Nice.
I may have mentioned that it was her birthday when we ordered. So they brought out the sombrero and the tequila shot.
Nice.
It embarrassed the hell out of her. It was
Nice.
great.
On my 40th, they tried to tell the people at the restaurant, they're like, oh, it's his birthday. And they're like, come out and sing. I look at the waitress. I'm like, I haven't wrote my tip up. Don't you bring anyone out here singing birthday. She's like, I'm not bringing no one out. I'm like, thank you. You get more on your tip.
It was great. But yeah, we definitely ran in and through the rain because we're like, do we wait or do we just run for it? Like, screw it, we're gonna run for it. So we did. But
yeah, I mean, it was. Yeah, I mean, once the rain hit that day, it was definitely rough. Like even at the reception, like I could hear the thunder outside. Luckily, no power went out and everybody got there safely and they got home safely. They got back to the hotel safely. But hey, I'll take getting the making history. I'll take that, having the first ever wedding at League Park. I will take making history and getting all the luck from having rain on our wedding day. I will
That's- you
take
got
the combination
best
of both.
worlds right there.
That's
you
what
barely got hit by the rain, but you got the luck of it.
if I were to sum it up, so I didn't go into a long story like I did earlier, that was the way I've summed the wedding up to everybody. We got the luck of the rain, and yet we still were able to make history by
That,
having
and
the,
all those pictures are going to look phenomenal with that overcast because they take better pictures
Yeah,
than sunny days, believe it or not.
I think we got to wait like a couple more weeks, though. I think the photographer said like 4 weeks, but we're itching for that after what we saw, like the initial kind of unedited stuff that we got from the videographers. We're kind of itching for those pictures because we didn't take many pictures. Her family, my family didn't really take many pictures. So it's like we have all of this Google photo drive full of all this stuff from Disney. Then when you get to May 21st,
Like 3.
there's not much in there. And, like I said, we barely remember what happened. I just remember turn of the crowd. I remember entering the reception. I remember being able to eat and actually eating. Like Jay said, we had hamburgers, hot dogs, Cracker Jacks, fruit salad, pasta salad. I mean, to a T.
I told you it was going to be a blur. It is.
It really is.
Wait till you get the pictures. You're going to be like,
I did
oh
that.
yeah. And then you're going to be like, what? Wait, what was that?
Yeah.
When did that happen?
But I know as the
So-
baseball fan that you are, Peter, we're definitely going to bring those pictures in, and because I think you'll get a kick out of some of the stuff.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it. I was excited. I wish we could have been there, but
hey.
my wife's birthday and it was kind of a big one. So,
family comes first.
so-
Family comes first. And I mean, I did leave a family graduation party today for this show, but we haven't done it in 3 weeks. So like I balanced it out.
She got
This is
some
You
family
made it.
too.
You made
This
it to
is
the
family
party.
too.
She
I did.
made it to the party.
she got some nice presents, and the funniest thing was because for whatever reason she's been on a Harry Styles kick. I don't know why. She's like, oh, you keep showing up in my reels on Facebook, and so she clicks on him. So what happens? She gets more and more and more. Right?
Oh,
That's
it's-
Thanos' brother, bro.
So what we did is we actually got her one of those Harry Styles pillows, the sequin pillows. So it's like one way it's all black, and then you've
Oh,
rub the stuff the sequins the other way, and it's a picture of Harry Styles. And that's the thing she posted on social media. Like, oh, she was so happy she got that. I'm like, that was cheap compared to everything else.
I might lose a man card for this, but Harry Styles actually put out some good music the last couple of times. He's put out some albums.
I don't really listen to it, but she's been playing it around the house, and I'm like, it's not bad.
It has an old school feel, like the music that my family brought me up on that they grew up with.
Mhm.
Has like an old school vibe, maybe even like disco or like some of those kind of like era music with a new twist on it. Like, and he almost kind of dresses like he was in the 70s or something, like with like bell bottoms and whatever.
I
but-
wouldn't. I have no idea. Can't give you a
Yeah,
judgment on something I have nothing,
that's
no
all right.
knowledge of.
I mean, and again, like he's a guy that he was in one of the like when there was like the era of reincarnating boy bands like One Direction and stuff. Like came from
Is that where he's from?
yeah.
Like I said, I only know
yeah.
because they said he was Thanos' brother.
I'm-
That's not much. I'm like, oh, Harry Styles. I don't know who you are, but sure, you're Thanos' brother.
Well, and that's like how into music I am, like in different genres I am, because even if it's something that like, oh, quote unquote, isn't for this demographic or that demographic, like I still know about it because I try to keep tabs. And most of the time, if it's not for my demographic, I hate it. Every now and again, those one or two kind of squeak through, and they kind of appeal to everybody, and people just don't give them enough of a chance. It's 58 minutes into the show. We've only talked one really like sports segment. And it's the only team that's playing. Do you guys care about the NBA finals? Or
No.
Who do you think is going to win?
I mean, I think Boston
Boston
gonna win. I hope. If I had to pick who I want to win to,
Yeah.
if the lesser of two evils would be Boston, because here's the funny thing: like I can't stand the Celtics, but there's actually a few people on that team I could like. Like I like Jason Tatum. I think he's a hell of a player. I love
Yeah.
watching him play. Jaylen Brown, hell of a player. Marcus Smart. I love watching those three play. Like I really respect their game. I think that
Yeah.
guy, he knows his niche. Marcus Smart. He's a defensive player and he does it so well. Now the Warriors, as good as Steph Curry is, I can't stand him. Can't stand Draymond, and I can't stand Clay. I mean, I'm just the Cleveland in me. I can't stand that team or their players. So to hell with them. I hope they lose.
Yeah, I guess they don't annoy me as much because I respect greatness, and Steph is someone that has changed a sport that's been around since the the late 1800s when James Naismith, a Canadian guy, invented the game of basketball. he did reinvent the game and how people look at it and what you see out there on the basketball floor. He doesn't come through in the clutch every single time. There's a reason that he hasn't been voted finals MVP in the 3 NBA championships that he has, even though he's considered the best player in his team. Guess what? Andre Iguodala got it because he shut down LeBron in 2015 in the 2015 finals. And then KD got it because KD is considered the second best player in all of basketball, or at least it was at that time. People feel like he's past LeBron because of where LeBron's age is. Until I see like LeBron like truly breaking down the floor, I can't say that he's not one of the best players in all the game of basketball. But KD won it, and KD deserved it because he hit that shot in Game 3, I think it was, when the Cavs were trying to come back. It was 2017, I think. He hits that dagger, and they go up 3-0 in that series. I think the Cavs able to squeak one.
You're reminding me why I hate them.
I know. Like, I'll always have that sports hatred for them, and I don't really want to see them win championships because I know only because I know where the conversation is going to go. If Steph Curry gets the same amount or more championships than what LeBron has, then they're going to say like, "Oh, is Steph Curry a better player than LeBron? Is he should be higher on the all-time list on the Mount Rushmore, and LeBron shouldn't." Don't even bring that crap to me, even in my airspace, because there is no way that Steph Curry, no matter how many championships he wins, and that's how much crap I think the championship only argument is to determine an all great player. There is no chance in hell that Steph Curry can ever be considered a better all-time player than LeBron, because LeBron will always do so much more better than Steph Curry. And LeBron changed the game to a certain degree. Steph Curry changed it for the weak, honestly. To me, he changed it for the weak of heart, because now you put a fingernail on a guy 30 feet from the basket. Oh, foul. Got to go to the line. Got to give this guy a foul. Oh, you're just an all-star type player, or maybe just slightly below that level. Oh, you don't get that call. You got to be mauled out there on the three-point line to get a foul call. It is so subjective.
Imagine if LeBron got all those foul calls. The million foul calls that dude probably missed. How many points are left off of his career because he's just bigger and stronger than everyone? They're like, well, it's a foul, but it's LeBron. He got the Shaq treatment big time.
He's so big. He's 6'9". He's 265. He's a beast. You should. That guy just bounced off him. Aren't you sure that it's an offensive foul because he shouldered him? No, it's just a little gnat hitting a brick wall that bounced off him, but it's still a foul because he came down across his arms.
You can't stop the dude if you touch him. It's still a foul, but that's a long.
Yeah, that's a whole different conversation for another day. I will say LeBron has kind of hurt himself getting calls, even being the superstar that he is, because of how much he flops. Like that's a legit criticism against him. Like, LeBron's not perfect. And we could go down the road of like MJ or LeBron. Like, I'm not doing
that. Those are the only two I'm going to listen to, though.
Right, but that's not what I'm gonna do. But in those arguments, when I say LeBron and other people say MJ, I fully respect and understand why people are saying MJ. People just I think that LeBron is perfect. That's how people kind of present some of these guys, that they're absolutely perfect. Some people present MJ.
Well, he's not God, so he can't be perfect. Right. So that's just how it is.
All of those players had their flaws, and they went through their trials and tribulations in the league. What you get on highlight reels now, and if you didn't get to see these players actually play, all you're going to get is the highlights, and it's going to be a lot of good highlights. So you're going to think like, oh my God, this guy did this on a nightly basis. Yeah, but he also flopped on the floor, and he also whined and cried at times. He also went on national television and broke the hearts of an entire city, and did it trying to cover up with doing a good cause at a boys and girls club. Like, everybody's got their flaws. Everybody's got those things. So that's why all those comparison arguments get convoluted.
So basically, no one here really cares about these NBA finals right now, do we?
And like, I guess I could root more for the Celtics because of the players you mentioned, because they're players that I could actually root for, but I can't because their fans annoy the hell out of me.
That's the fun. I hate the Warriors team, but I hate the Celtics fans.
Yes. That was the only thing I was going to say about it.
guys, oh my God, like the Bruins just won the Stanley Cup a month ago. We haven't won a championship in a month. The Celtics didn't win. Oh my God, the city is crumbling in front of me. New England, what is happening?
I guess you'll just have to rely on those 6 Super Bowls Tom Brady got you.
Oh my God, we haven't won a Super Bowl. No,
How many World Series has the Red Sox had in the last 20 years? Like, yeah, I don't. They're just annoying fans. Like,
even when
they can get Nick Cat and get that out of here.
Even when they were winning all the championships, it was still something like, for me, Boston fans felt like, to the degree of whining and crying, it felt like, 2 weeks after the Patriots won the Super Bowl, the parade's done, all the initial festivities are done. Oh my God, we haven't won a championship in 2 weeks. What is happening to this city? Oh, we're just not good enough. We're so the trials and tribulations we go through as a fan base are just so hard. Try going through it for 52 freaking years, man. And now we haven't won in 6 years. So get off the stupid train. There's a
So before you start swearing,
yes.
What was your favorite move the Browns made? Let me save you from your anger.
I don't give a
Of the
crap.
3 guys we were saying, I just want to change the subject. I didn't even care.
Oh my God, it's a football town. We're 65 minutes in.
We have not talked 1 minute in the Browns.
And we're into the period where, they're about to do mini camp and then they're going to go 6-week break and then we're going to training camp. But guess what we're still talking about? And guess what storylines are still coming out? What lawsuits are still coming?
And this is why we said we didn't want this guy.
Guess what?
You can't avoid it.
I'm going to say it out loud. Probably nobody's watching at this point, but I don't care if a lot of people watching and they come at me for this. I'd rather have Baker Mayfield than Deshaun Watson or anybody that's in that quarterback room.
So that,
I know you guys.
I haven't changed my stance on this. I mean, I don't think he's the better quarterback. I just think he's the better person, and I don't have to deal with all this crap. But at the same time, I don't know. Like, I'm hearing more and more about what's happening in the locker room with him and all this crap. I would just take Jacoby Brissett at this point and just get rid of both of them. Like, I don't care.
Right,
I'm so
right.
sick of hearing all this stuff. Like, oh my God, it's just saddening, disgusting. Some of the stuff you hearing coming out, and
again, it's still alleged. And like, I'm not.
We're just the ones getting tortured here.
Yeah,
Fans.
Like, I'm not trying to condemn a guy that hasn't, grand jury has brought anything against him. There's more civil lawsuits. So it's a point where he's trying to prove his innocence, and I hope that he's able to do so. But now we're up
If he's innocent, obviously.
If he's innocent. I don't know if he's innocent, if he's guilty.
All we do is, I think we'll all collectively agree, we hope he gets what he deserves. We don't know what that is. It's not on us to decide. It's on a judge and God. And
That's some higher power that we have no control over. But again, everybody, my issue is that all of that is still swept under the rug, and it's not even mentioned in the fake Twitter sphere that I can't stand. And the people that when I responded to our friend Craig from the Dogs Table, and he was saying like Brown's Twitter is clamoring for OBJ to come back. I was like, which Brown's Twitter? The real one where we have real conversations and actually have them in a real platform, not just on social media, or just the people that are like in La La Land, and they can't. They don't want to talk about what's actually going on with the team. They just want to keep demeaning a guy that has done nothing and really hasn't said anything on social media or anything in Baker Mayfield for the last 2 months. And they just want to keep damaging his character. Whatever he did, that bridge is burned. He wasn't a good teammate. Other guys in the locker room weren't good teammates. There wasn't good leadership. There was no culture. It's done. It's over. It's just that type of character flaw versus the alleged character flaw that's going on. That's why I'd rather have social media flaw over the alleged lawsuit flaw that has come with the offseason baggage. I know Deshaun Watson is a better quarterback than Baker Mayfield, a much better quarterback. Doesn't matter if he can't be available to your team. That's going to be the biggest issue. How many games does he get suspended? What has the NFL found out? How available is he? Your best ability
is availability.
Is your availability. And if he's not available, and he's not available not just this year, and he runs into the following years because he just keeps fighting it, then what was the point? You're paying a guy to then sit on the bench to fight a legal battle that, who knows what actually happened. It's frustrating. And I can't even get excited that Clowney's back. I can't get excited that Njoku is back. And he's talking about how he's excited to block.
Well, listen to this. I didn't share this, guys, with you guys earlier, but I was reaching out to someone I want to have as a guest, and he was just telling me, he goes, no disrespect to any of us, because he'd love to come on, and he's had other people reach out to him to come on,
Mhm.
but he's like, Brown's Twitter right now is so chaotic and just going at each other. He's like, I don't even want to talk about Browns. And I go, and I'm not gonna, because if I say what I wanted to talk to him about, you'd let you know who he
Yeah.
is. And I'm like, honestly, we don't even want to like talk about the Browns. Like, we're not
Yeah.
excited. Like, it's like this black cloud over the whole situation. I feel like the Browns are stuck in the upside down from Stranger Things. Like, there's nothing good down there.
Nope.
It's just chaos, and it just, ugh.
And when it seems like things,
We have 3 awesome signs. Like, I was so happy to have Clowney back, and then 23rd person comes out. It's like, well,
And
there goes the
reportedly-
excitement of that. And then, like,
reportedly tomorrow, 24.
yeah, now we're gonna have 24. I'm just getting tired of this. Like,
Yeah. And again, it's not to say that, one side is right over the other. It's just like there's something in the middle and it doesn't sit right.
I mean, dude, we have a top 5 quarterback in this city, and we're not excited to talk about that. Like, come on, like that's why we didn't want this. Like,
I know you saw it on Twitter or may have listened to it, and I'm not here to steal any bits. And even though I work for the station, like, I'm not here to just bring only one station's things in. Yesterday on ESPN Cleveland, they had like a conversation about like what is your hottest take that everybody else would be basically against. And it's not that I want to have that conversation because we don't have enough time anyways, but I don't want to have it. It just triggered in my head the thought that, and this is probably, I'm the only person in Cleveland that'll probably think this. I am much more excited. I can say with 100% definity, if not more, I am much more excited for the World Cup soccer. I know I'm always excited about soccer, but I am much more excited.
it doesn't show.
Thanks. I am much more excited about the World Cup than football season here in town, just because of the Browns. It's like taking my fandom for and excitement for Buckeye football, high school football. It has just crushed it, ripped it up, thrown it in the trash. I can't, like, it's hard. Maybe I'll get, when we get closer to September or August, when football's really getting going, I am much more excited for the World Cup in November. And watching a friendly today, U.S. against Uruguay, and watching women's soccer and any other different level of soccer I can find, I am way more excited to wait until November for World Cup 2022 for just a month of action than I am for the 3-4 month NFL season that's coming up. No one else will think that because fantasy football and everything else, everybody's excited for some people are excited for the Browns because they don't want to see reason. Some people are excited because of fantasy football. I don't even care about fantasy football or the NFL right now. All I want is I just want World Cup soccer. That's all I want, guys. That's
all the guy wants. He just wants to see some soccer. He wants the original football.
Yeah, I just want the original football. And the fact that it's so hot in Qatar that they got to play in November instead of when they should be playing coming up here in June, July, made me wait even longer. Like, screw you. Like, screw you, Qatar. You probably bought your way to get this World Cup. Luckily, North America gets a joint thing in 2026. So if I check off a World Cup game off my bucket list in 4 years.
There you have it. I mean, there's our excitement for the Browns this season.
That's
Minimal.
it. That's all I got.
I'm excited. Like, when it comes to the Browns, the only thing I'm really excited, I loved watching Nick Chubb. Absolutely love watching him run football. And I can't wait to see our defense, but I'm like, the sails are out the wind right now, or the wind's out of the sails. Had that backwards.
Yeah.
Yes, you get the point.
I think would be a good idea next week, as long as we went tonight. Yes, keep it to just an hour, like we always try to say we're going to. We never do. But more so, let's just do a summer kickoff to summer episode. Just
Sounds great.
Talking about plans for the summer, activities you like to do, and what summer means to you. Let's just do a kickoff to summer. It might not take us the whole 60 minutes for something like that.
We'll talk about it.
We'll talk about it right here on the Voice of the Land.
Talk about jet skis, because you don't see people not smiling on jet skis.
Yeah, just get me to a secluded lake, a kayak, and just let me float for a little bit and take in nature. I don't know. That's that's what I'm excited for. I'm not excited for what we will have to talk about, and we will talk about because what our job is, and that's why I mentioned it tonight. But took us way over, so that's going to wrap it up for this edition. For my co-host, Always Positive Jay, our producer extraordinaire, Peter Tellup, better known as Audio, Kevin Arnold, did not run the show very well coming back. All right, knocking off the rust. But we always say at the end, don't let anyone ever tell you it's just a game. We truly love you all 3,000. As our late, great friend Mike Allen always used to say, live life, all gas, no breaks. We'll see you next week right here, the Big Play Network with the voice of the land.